Hey everyone, Tankenstein here. In this video, I've got your gameplay for the Object 775, which is a rank 6 battle rating, 9.3 SPG, whatever the hell you want to call it. Basically, in Russian, this is what they would call a blini tank, or as we would call it, a pancake tank. That's right, this thing is as flat as can be. It's got to have one of the most extreme profiles in the entire game with 75 degrees of angle. Now you might be saying, 90 degrees isn't all that much of armor at this BR. Yes, it is. Let's see against the Rubin, which is its ATGM. Now this is not tandem charge, unfortunately, and this is the only sort of thing that it can have to really attack the enemy outside of the Burr, which is its HE shell. But this will not go through on most angles. Now, of course, you can hit its turret, which is where it's kind of weak, but not all too much. Now, that being said, this only has 2 crew members. This is just a very weird vehicle, and it's got a hydro-pneumatic suspension, which allows you to get even lower than this. So this thing is pretty much the shortest, flattest vehicle in-game as of present, outside of maybe the Solari Sahariano, but I think this might have it beat. That being said, let's get into a few matches, see what we could do with this blini tank, and have a good time. Let's get into it. Okay, we have ourselves some enemies up here, it would seem. Now, I do have a stabilizer. And one of the worst things with this vehicle, probably like one of the worst angles to be at compared to an enemy, is below them. Because then they could just kind of circumvent your angling. Whoa, I just slid all over the place. We have an enemy, it looks like, right there. I don't know if you guys can see him, but that looks like an enemy to me. That's a TAM2 IP, and can I get him? I cannot. I'm gonna have to just wait here for a split second. And he thinks I can't fire, but I can. Got his loader transmission, all of that, and he kinda got me. There he goes with his horizontal turret drive, and we got the kill. Very nice, extreme angling going on right here. This thing is just such an extreme vehicle. I can't believe it. But one of the worst things about this, though, again, is its 2-man crew. Which means that, well, if any of them die, I'm boned. That's it. Simple as that. I'm dead. Okay, we have an enemy. Got the kill. Didn't realize he was at his base. My apologies. He died. Someone's still alive, though. Okay. Boom! Got the, something or the other tank. Got him. Very nice. Now, I do feel bad, but literally there's nowhere else I can go. The entire enemy team has been more or less conquered at this point. So before you go and say, oh, but Tankenstein, you're spawn camping. Where else am I gonna go? Genuinely, where else? I'm actually trying to get away from this. I do not want to be here because it does still feel dirty. So I'm just gonna go cap the 8 point. I guess that's the only other thing I can really do in this instance. But not too bad. I got 3 kills, 1 assist, and at least in my experience, I was having a good time. Also, this is the commander site. Not sure why it looks like that. So one of the things that appears to have been fixed, I don't know if I just said that right, but since the dev server is the commander site, oddly enough, I remember I had the same exact issue on the dev server with the commander site. It just isn't functioning at all. Oddly enough, you would think, you would hope, but they just haven't gotten that far, I guess. It kind of feels half-baked in many ways because, I don't know, with the dev server you would hope that such thing... Okay, is that the enemy? You know what? I do have... Oh, I thought I had a laser rangefinder. So he is at 150. Farts. Oh, wait, that was not an enemy. That was trash. Huh. I was like, oh man, I'm gonna get this guy good. He's gonna die. And it turns out to be a pile of trash. I mean, I guess it's kind of like what the enemies are in this game, but still. Man, this thing is just so sneaky breaky. Like, you can just hide and stuff. Like, this, come on, man. You're blowing my cover. You can just hide between or behind barricades and whatever else. The only problem with this is that, again, it, like, even though I can obviously hide, yeah! Woo! Buddy. Even though I can obviously hide behind, like, all this stuff, I also can't shoot around it. So while it is fun, man, there's some more trash that looks like a tank. Turret traverse just went just a touch too slow. Oh, that's a mouse. That's a mouse. Okay, I'm gonna go up against this mouse. Okay, I got a crit on him. I'm going up against the mouse. I was hoping I'd get the track. Okay, I got the loader again. That's good news. We gotta shoot on the left side now. Okay, I got the loader again. And my kill was taken! Oh, no. Come on, man. Whatever, I can't really blame him. When it comes to ground forces, it's just so much more difficult to be able to tell, you know, how far along somebody is to dying. So I really can't blame anyone who does that. Too much, at least. Another mouse? Chiki briki braskaya. This should be an ammo rack? Oh, no, it's not. Jeez. Well, at least I got the cannon breach. This is so silly Billy. Okay, I'm gonna go activate my ESS. I don't think that this guy's gonna be able to stop me. Okay, I got the transmission. Perfect. And got the kill! There we go! The mouse kill I was looking for. The mighty mouse, basically. The Object 177 or 2. The Object 775 versus the mouse itself. Also, this thing only has a 5 km/h reverse speed, and the ESS may not have been such a good idea. I can't see jack diddly doo-doo. Plus, the ammo amount that you get on this vehicle is not very good. I've only got a total of like 20 rounds. This guy does not know I'm here. Hopefully, he won't know I'm here for another second. Yeah, boy! Chiki briki braskaya. Gonna run away? Get over here! Okay, we have ourselves another enemy. Oh, that's not an enemy. But I may have just alerted him. I did! Wow, because I shot my ally woke up, saw the enemy that was over there, because he thought I was him, and I saved my friend. I saved my ally. Look at that. I'm a special player. This guy doesn't even have the cannon depression to actually attack me. Not that he would, because he's my friend, of course. But, like, look at that. His gun goes right over me. For the most part. Doesn't matter. Anywho. So, let's go ahead and just get some of the strengths and weaknesses of this vehicle out of the way. Because, of course, I do want to devote a bit more of my gameplay videos to the good, the bad, the ugly, all that sort of thing of vehicles. Now, this is actually a pretty mobile vehicle. I think it's got like a 20 to 1 horsepower per ton power to weight ratio. Give or take, somewhere around there. Which makes it pretty good. Now, of course, the elephant in the room, or in this instance, kind of like the mouse, is the fact that this is so low to the ground. And on one hand, that's not a bad thing, but on the other hand, it kind of is. Because as I mentioned, I think a bit earlier, this thing is stealthy in many ways, and also makes it so that it's very difficult to kill, because it's got such an incredibly sharp armor profile, but, of course, I can't see over a lot of things. I can't shoot over a lot of things. And when you have a vehicle that is dependent on being able to shoot over things, like, I can't shoot through them, right? Like, this has a heat warhead, essentially. It's not tandem charge either. And so, because I can't do that, it does actually become kind of difficult. Also, the cannon itself is not very good. It does have a really nice reload, don't get me wrong. However, again, it is lacking in terms of damage. Also, the turret traverse on this thing is not very good. It's fully stock, it's like 14 degrees per second, but it's not really going to be necessarily a ton better than that when you do have it with the upgrades. Or when I say fully stock, I mean like with the base crew. I'm not saying like literally fully stock. Like 14 degrees per second is with no crew training at all, 0 points in crew. But of course you have the whatchamacallit. You know, the whatchamacallit that everybody knows much about. But you have the horizontal turret drive modification. So I'm just going to make like a bush and kind of sit here until this base is capped. But I've been noticing actually, so again, pros, good mobility, excellent, I mean probably the best absolute armor profile in War Thunder. Like if this thing had some composites in it, forget about it. But when it comes to cons, I mean like, the ammo really isn't fantastic, like the ATGMs aren't. Again, for the fact that this is so small, and I think it helps out more than it hurts, but the fact that it's so low to the ground does make it difficult to aim properly sometimes. And also, a really bad thing with this, it only has 2 crew members. Again, I get the the whole concept of this vehicle, the reason why it is the way it is, but it just feels a whoa, buddy. It definitely feels a whoa, buddy. Okay, got the end. He's gonna kill me now. So, ultimately, when it comes down to it, this vehicle has, obviously, many of its own strengths and weaknesses. And I think some of these strengths and weaknesses are actually pretty unique to this vehicle. But in summation, I think it's got a good reload rate. It's got a 6-second reload rate for an ATGM, which is pretty solid. It's got good optics, actually, now that I think about it. It's got, obviously, an excellent armor profile. The ATGMs themselves, man, I really do not like Type 69 2Gs. The armor profile is fantastic. It's not really got great armor thickness, but when you have a profile like this, do you really need all that much armor thickness? And it's got good mobility. You know, the ATGMs are pretty good. They're not fantastic, but they are good enough, I would say, in which they're fairly reliable killing machines, if, of course, you aren't too silly with it. So let's go ahead and just keep getting shot in the front by this guy. Got a kill. Very nice. There's the brawler. There is the brawler. Okay, this guy has hit me all over the place, man. That one guy in particular. So let's just kind of, before I end this video, let's kind of go over some of the strengths, or not the strengths and weaknesses, but some scores in what I like to call several key areas, namely armament, mobility, and survivability. And so I feel like we're going to have some enemies over here to my left real soon, possibly. But I'm just going to decap this because I really do not feel like sticking around. This is a great... I feel like this can be a great sniper, but I've been using it as a brawler for whatever reason. Now, when it comes to armament, I'll give it a 6.5 out of 10. I feel like it's got a solid enough armament. It sucks that it doesn't have like an HMG to be able to shoot down some obstacles for a clear path for you to be able to hit with your ATGMs, but I guess that is what it is. You really can't do much with that. That's asking for a totally new weapon system on your vehicle, which I get why they don't have an HMG on this thing. Secondly, you know, again, 6.5 out of 10. The ATGMs are plenty powerful. I feel like, ooh, the reload rate on this is real. Oh, that's not good. The reload rate on this thing, really, that's still a kill, is what really makes this thing shine. Very nice, very nice. Just have to shoot through the front if I can. Oh, really? I'm gonna have another kill stolen. Doesn't that suck? A 2S38 just stole a kill against a mouse? Man, that stinks. But overall, the armament's pretty good. If these were tandem charge, I would say easily this would be a 7 out of 10 when it comes to armament, but it's not. I mean, like, even if it had the same exact amount of armor pen, if they were tandem charge, they would be a substantial amount better. Now, when it comes to mobility, I'll give it 6.5-ish out of 10, maybe a 7, not 7, but maybe a 6.25. It's definitely very good, but it's not fantastic. You know, most of the time I'm winning in races versus enemies, but not by necessarily all too much. Also, by the way, if you guys ever want to destroy a mouse or take out his ability to kill you, shooting him to the right of the turret is definitely the short-term way to do it. So, he's got his gunners back. Oh, look at that. But yeah, I mean, it's got a good amount of mobility. It's just not fantastic. You know, it's definitely on the positive side of good. You know. And then, also, we have completely crushed these people. So if you guys are like, oh, Tankenstein, you can't just do that. What am I going to do? There's nothing else we can do in this match. Now, when it comes to, yeah, mobility, so great, right? Let's go ahead and raise up this thing, and let's see if this does anything. If now I can get out of this crater. I can! Look at that! Adaptability, huh? So, overall, when it comes to survivability, I'll give this a 7 out of 10. I actually think it's got a very good amount of survivability. It's not fantastic, by any means. I'm not just going to go point my cannon in there. That's not cool. It's got a very good amount of survivability, but again, as I've said several times, it's got great survivability until it doesn't. Once somebody pens right through this thing, which is pretty easy once they actually learn where to pen, then it becomes a problem. It becomes a big, big problem because you just die immediately, you know? So I think it's got great survivability. It's like having a strong shell, like an eggshell, you know? Pretty much. It's like strong, and then once you get onto the inside, it's a runny yolk. It's pretty much really all it is. So it's got great survivability until it doesn't. That's probably the best way I can say it. And again, whatever I gave it, like a score, 7.25 out of 10, 7.5, something like that. So overall, I'm going to give this, I'd say like a 6.75 out of 10. I feel like it's a really good vehicle. Do I think it's going to see an up tier? Probably not. Or an increase in BR to 6 or to 9.7. I don't think so, because its armament really will limit it. Also, it does not have composite armor and all that, and it's got a pretty decent sized weak spot right here, and also right here on the turret that people just don't know about yet. But once people learn those, we will start seeing these things die a lot quicker. So that being said, thanks so much for watching. If you don't mind, please consider liking, commenting, and subscribing. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. This guy just hit me, but he increased my mobility pretty substantially. Either way, thanks again, and I'll see you all on the other side. Ooh, ooh. Pancake Man. Take care, everyone.